Can you just like expand on that in the sense that probably it was hundreds of pitches, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's two factors to it. There's one, there's just the willingness to go in and bat 100 times knowing that you're only going to hit a small percentage. I think that right there filters out a lot of people who try to build their own businesses. Just they go in expecting to score 90%. You know, we go through our whole lives where 90% is success. It's the A. You know, and you can't take that mentality into sales. You know, in sales, 5% is an A. You know, like if you hit 10%, you're crushing it. You know, so like it's one of those things where just having the right mentality to go in and you know you're going to put up a ton of volume before you score, and you know that there's no way to predict exactly where the score will come from. So you just have to go in and planning to miss a bunch, knowing that predictably with enough volume you'll get some wins. So that's number one. The second bit though is you have to be willing to adjust on the fly. So this is a big thing that I see that's a problem with a lot of my students. It takes a lot to get past that first volume first mentality, but then once you get into it, sometimes the first plan of attack that you bring in, even with volume, doesn't work out. And then the question becomes, what do you do? Do you give up or do you adjust? And so for me, like during that month, like the first 2 weeks, I was just sending like headline pitches and stuff, you know, hey, I want to write for your blog, like, or whatever, like here's some headlines I think would be a good fit. And I just was not hearing back from anyone. Or people who would I'd hear back from with some initial interest would then drop off and follow-throughs wouldn't get them back to me. So I just got super frustrated and I started writing whole articles. So I had 1 week where I wrote like 10 full articles, not knowing if I'd get $1 from any of them, and started sending out the full pieces. And one of those pieces is what that, some of those initial, those projects came from, was just going in and sending out full pieces. And so it's kind of like, I think it's kind of those two factors of volume first mentality, but then also, doing what it takes to figure out what's going to get the win, So I think, yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. And you have to really believe it's going to work in the end, because you're pre putting in a lot of work, you're sort of, it's like a reverse tab, you're paying a bunch before they're actually delivering the drinks. And so it's kind of like, you have to be willing to do that. And you have to sort of have a little bit of audacity and I think faith in yourself that you're going to pull it off, but also just kind of you have to trust the process that this is how sales work.